Good evening and hello. And hello and good evening. Malcolm, hi there. Sitting around the corner having a look at what's going on around the corner from you. So, last time the excuse for this was that it was my 65th birthday. This time there's absolutely no excuse whatsoever. I'm just having to go for it. And Pete's here as well. Good evening, Pete. You've just missed the first piece of music for this evening, which was in fact the theme from Housewife's Choice. As you will remember, I don't know if you'll remember, Mally, Housewife's Choice was broadcast on the Light programme between 1946 and 1967 and had this piece, which I'll just reprise for people coming in late. It's that was the theme tune. It's a piece of light music, piece of English light music called In Party Mood. I think probably referring to the kind of party you'd have in a 4-bedroomed house with 2 reception rooms and be worrying about the canapes rather than a drunken booze-up. It was written by a chap called Jack Strachey, who also wrote, considerably earlier, These Foolish Things and A Nightingale Sang in Berkeley Square. So bit of a pop star in his own way. It was played on the BBC performances by Charles Williams conducting the Queen's Hall Light Orchestra. Now Charles Williams had a hit himself in 1960 when a film was made in America called The Apartment, starring Shirley MacLaine and Jack Lemmon. Big success. And they used a tune that Williams had written for a British film about 12 years earlier as the theme tune. Williams didn't know about this. He only found out about it when a cover of this tune by a piano duet Ferrante and Tyker became a huge international hit in 1960. It was at the top of the British charts. Obviously, conversations ensued, legal threats were probably made, and Williams ended up with the royalties and quite a bit of money, which is a happy ending to a story for a musician, really. So, who have we got here? We've got Malcolm. Hi, Malcolm. Hi, Pete. BB, you're here. Fantastic. Excellent timing. Lainey, the Muppets, and Rupert. Rupert's here. Good evening, Rupert. We'll be getting round to some Frank Zappa later in the programme, although not in a form that Frank Zappa would have recognised or probably appreciated, but what the heck. Here we are. Here we are in a lockdown. We've got nothing better to do, so we're going to do nothing better. Right, now let me just sip here from my green plastic cactus. There is a reason for the green plastic cactus. This is that I wanted a thick pink plastic straw. And the reason why I wanted a pink, thick, well not pink, it didn't have to be pink, it had to be thick and it had to be plastic. Why I wanted it is because I've got this thing that I bought myself for my birthday 2 weeks ago, and I'll just whip it out for those of you who haven't seen it before. It's this. Sit back a bit so you can get the full length of it. And it is a Renaissance bass Courtholt. And it sounds like this. Oh, by the way, please do somebody tell me if you can't hear me, because I'm using a different microphone setup this time. and it seemed to check out when I had a go a couple of days ago, but for all I know, I'm just mouthing away here at the screen and you can't hear a single word I'm saying. So, anyway, here's the bass chord hold. I love that kind of sound. I've been fanatical about early music ever since I first discovered all these things in the late 1960s. And this, as far as I'm aware, is from precisely that period. I can't put a strict date on it, but the packaging, the original box that it came in when I bought it on eBay, was the packaging that the company was using around about the late 60s, early 70s. But, as Malcolm commented last time I played it, and as I realised was correct when I looked at the video playback, it does look as though I'm playing it with my nose, because it's got this rather short fripple. The fact is, it's designed to be played standing up. It's not very comfortable. Can't really reach the bottom notes very well sitting down, as I am right now. So I thought, right, let's do something about this, because the actual mouthpiece is this short, this little detachable piece of wood with cork on the end, and I thought that must be substitutable, so let's try a thick straw. So here we are. Here's the straw that originally went with the green cactus, with a little bit of electrician's tape wrapped around the end to get a seal, and it fits in there, which should give me a bit more room for movement. Just finding the keys here. You see, it doesn't really quite work properly. The notes are not coming out in the right kind of pitch or the right kind of timbre. I don't know why. I can't imagine why. This is definitely a work in progress. Something that I'll have to get sorted out as we move along. But for now, that's why the green cactus. I wanted a length of straw. I went in a pound shop. I went in Poundland in Birkenhead. Looked at the holiday gear, the camping gear section, and found a green plastic cactus with a lid that I haven't got here right now, with a straw sticking out of it. So I thought, well, a pound well spent. So here's the pink work in progress, and I keep on drinking. So we've got a few people here. Everyone's very silent. Anyone got any requests or anything like that? I've got lots and lots of karaoke backing tracks. I can slaughter all kinds of popular music for you. Have I possibly done something that means I can't see comments? No. It looks like everyone's watching in fascination or horror or whatever, but not saying anything. That's quite all right. Let me just put the bass chord holder away for a moment. If a certain person turns up later on, then he did put in a request last time, and I will do my best to play it for him, having practiced a little bit. Right, there we go. Back in place. Right, where next? We've got to 8:10. Good heavens. The thing about these businesses is that when you do it, you don't realise how slowly time passes. Time sitting on your hands, ticking away the moments that make up. No, don't do that. I have here various pieces of musical entertainment that I can do. Let's try a bit of Zappa. The Muffin Men were rehearsing obviously until about 5 weeks ago. Haven't done anything since because we're all sitting in separate rooms. We had a couple of new numbers on the go, and once the lockdown started, Rhino, Mr. Paul Ryan, who hopefully will turn up later on, decided he was going to record his drum part for one of the new songs, put it up online, and hopefully everybody else would take it, overdub their contributions, and we'd end up with some kind of communal recording, some communal piece of music making. Basically, we all said, no, get lost. You're having a laugh. That's not really going to work. But as time has passed, I've still got his drum track here, and I'll give it a go right now. I'm going to put on my part, which in this case, rather unusually, I'm afraid, is vocal. I was going to be the lead vocalist on this number. I may yet be the lead vocalist on this number one of these days. Also, rather tragically, since it's been 5 weeks since we rehearsed it, I've lost my grip on the lyrics. I had them pretty much learnt. I had them pretty much in my mind, but lyrics are a problem for me. Words, I love words, but I can't remember exact words. I can't remember quotations. I can't remember exact lyrics. They just slip out of my memory, vanish beyond my grasp. Always been that way. When I was in school, they used to say you can't pass your O-levels without quoting. You've got to have lots of quotes in your mind. They won't give you good marks. They won't give me good marks then because I can't quote anything. I can tell you the plot. I can tell you the story of almost anything that I've read, but I can't actually quote the precise words at you. So, making lots of excuses here. It is a prologue to getting the lyrics. Set up here, and find the piece of music. Yes, here we go. This will be a performance for drums and vocals only of the Muffin Men version of Cheepnis by Frank Zappa. I ate a hot dog, it tasted real good. And then I watched a movie from Hollywood. I ate a hot dog, it tasted real good. Dum, yummy, yummy, yum. Yummy, yummy, yum. And then I watched a movie from Hollywood. Dum, dum, dummy, dummy, dum. Dummy, dummy, dum. Little Miss Muffin done swept by me, yeah. Took a turn around and said, can you all see now? The little strings on the giant spider, the zipper from the Black Lagoon, the fence by the trunks where the bubbles go up, and the flaps on the side of the moon. The jelly and the paint on the 40-watt bulb they use when the slanters laugh. The rumples and the wrinkles in the cardboard rock, yeah. And the canvas of the cave is too soft. The suits and the hats and the ties too wide, too short for the scientist man. The chemistry lady with the rollaway man, yeah. And the monster just ate Japan. Ladies and gentlemen, the monster, which the peasants in this area call Phrenobulax, apparently a very large poodle dog, has just been seen approaching the power plant. Bullets can't stop it. Rockets can't stop it. We may have to use nuclear force. Now we have a bit where there should be a guitar solo, so I'm counting like mad. We'll do a little dance. Got a great big slimy thing. Got a great big hairy thing. Got a great big poodle thing. Got a great big hairy thing. Got a great big slimy thing. Got a great big hairy thing. Got a great big poodle thing. Got a great big hairy thing. Come on everybody, hurry, let's go. Somebody get the distilled water. Get the canned goods. Get the toilet paper, you know we need it. My baby, go to the shelter. Go to the shelter. Go to the shelter. My baby, go to the shelter. Go to the shelter. Hey! Little Miss Muffin on a square by me. Can you see the little string dangling down? Make the legs go wobble and the mouth flop shut, yeah. And the horrible eye, and that horrible eye, and that horrible eye go rolling around. Can you see it at all? Can you see it from here? Can you laugh till you're weak on your knees? If you can't, I'm sorry, cause that's all I want. No, I need a little more cheapness, please. Baby, I'm sorry, cause that's all I wanna know. I need a little more cheapness, please. Baby, I'm sorry, cause it's all I wanna know. I need a little more cheapness, please. Baby, I'm sorry, cause it's all I wanna know. I need a little more cheapness, please. Baby, I'm sorry, cause it's all I wanna know. I need a little more cheapness, please. Baby, I'm sorry, cause it's all I wanna know. I need a little more cheapness, please. Baby, I'm sorry, cause it's all I wanna know. I need a little more cheapness. Keep it the bed, keep it the bed, keep it the bed, keep it the bed. Baby, I'm sorry, cause it's all I wanna know. I need a little more cheapness. That wasn't so bad, if only I could actually keep all those words in my mind. Whoops, hang on, the drummer's still going. Let's just turn that man off. So I don't know quite what I've done here. Either you're all sitting there watching in absolute awe and silence, or I've somehow managed to turn off the comments, because I'm not seeing them. All I'm seeing is a list of people who are here. Hello, people. Hello, Kelvin. Yeah, so I can't actually comment on what you're saying at all. If you are saying anything, are you saying anything? Can I find any way of getting this up on screen at all? Event logs? No, not telling me anything at all. I guess you just haven't got anything to say, so that's quite all right. Considering what I'm up to at the moment, that would be actually very understandable. So, moving swiftly on. Recorders. As you might have noticed, at the start of that performance, if that's the correct word for it, I whipped out a recorder to play the intro. Now this is the wrong recorder, it's not the one that I want. It's all live, folks. Nope. No, the one that I actually want appears to have vanished completely. Where have I put it? No idea. Ah, got it. Okay, right, here we are. This was the one that I played and then put down at the side, and completely forgot that I'd put it down at the side. It is a Dolmetsch standard school recorder. It's of a kind that they made between roughly 1971 and 1975, when they abandoned this light brown colour. I don't know if you can see this, but this is more like the standard colour for these resin things, like dark. More like Bourneville, in fact. This I always thought looked more like Cadbury's Dairy Milk. They didn't succeed. They were wiped out. Dolmetsch had made recorders in England for years, but they were wiped out by an influx of much cheaper and, frankly, much better made Japanese recorders. So they went out of business by the end of the 70s. But while they produced this thing at the beginning of the 70s, it was quite unique. There was nothing else produced like this, I think, in the history of the instruments, because it's a standard thing for them to separate into three pieces. You know, you've got the head joint here, you've got the bottom joint here, but uniquely amongst recorders, you can also take the mouthpiece apart on this. Take this off, and you can see what's going on here. You can see not just the slot, which is generally all you can see, but you can actually see what a wind channel looks like. A long, flat bit. I don't know if you can see that it's where am I pointing it here. Can you see that it's, yeah, you can see that it's actually running through as a channel through which the wind blows. You can play it like that, you don't need the mouthpiece. Even more, you can take the wind channel out, which is tremendously hygienic because you can clean thoroughly. You can put, it's plastic, you can put it in the wash, put it in soapy water, it'll come out lovely. And you can get right inside the recorder itself. Yep, that's the way. Yep, see down the end of it. Clean it out properly, And it's fun. It actually taught me a lot about how these things are, because you don't really think about it. It's just a whistle. It's got a mouthpiece. Obviously, there's an end that you blow and an end that you don't blow. And you just put it in and go. Still on recorders. Why is it called a recorder? And the answer is, I don't know. Nobody knows. If you go through the other European countries, the main musical countries in Europe, they've got all kinds of different names for it. In Italy, it is il flauto dolce, the soft flute, or the sweet flute, which I think is marvellous. In France, it's the flûte à bec, that is a flute with a beak, so they're naming it after the fact that the mouthpiece looks something like a duck's beak. The Germans call it the Blockflöte because of this, the block of wood, which is fitted into a wooden recorder mouthpiece in order to make the wind channel, and if you knock that out, then you don't get any sound at all. So the Italian name refers to the sound of the instrument, the French name refers to the look of the instrument, the German name refers to the mechanics of the instrument. The English name doesn't appear to have any connection with anything at all. You know, recording is about making a note of things, making a record of things, whether it's, you know, of sound on a tape or of an event in writing or film or whatever. It's got nothing to do with a wooden whistle. I mean, I've seen, you know, if you look at the Oxford English Dictionary, that'll tell you that it's named recorder because it was part of the instrumentation used by medieval minstrels, and the main role of a minstrel, well, part of the role of a minstrel in the Middle Ages was to go around maintaining history and telling people stories that connected them with their past and their own culture, which is quite correct, but how does it relate to a wooden whistle? And the fact is that a minstrel's main job was to sing, and you can't really sing with all things in your mouth. So it doesn't really make any sense. So the recorder, ladies and gentlemen, we'll have a lot more of this to come. Okay, clearly I'm just not seeing any comments at all. Mally's gone. Anyone else arrived? Phil's here. Hooray, Phil. Right. Okay. Can't see any. Somebody's just telephoned me. Who's telephoned me? I've got a message. I've got someone who's on the guest list who's telling me, is there an issue? He can't seem to connect. Is anyone able to connect? Is there an issue, in fact? As far as I can tell, this is all going out. It all appears to be working absolutely as normal. I can invite friends. That's all been done. Event logs doesn't seem to do anything. No. Don't know. I mean, presumably it's filming, so I will put it up on YouTube at the end of the proceeding, but at the moment it looks like I'm sitting here talking like a madman to myself. Hopefully some of you out there can hear it. I seem to have done everything as I did it last time, so it looks as if Facebook is throwing me some kind of loop, and I have no idea what it is without actually shutting down the stream and going somewhere else, as far as I can tell. Doesn't appear to be anything else that I can do. No, it says